They thought she was in a coma, then she whispered one word. The monitors beeped steadily in the ICU, each pulse a reminder of a girl suspended between life and death. Her name was Ava Monroe, 17, an honors student, a volunteer at the local animal shelter. The kind of girl whose smile warmed classrooms, whose silence now chilled the hospital halls. She'd been like this for 4 months, eyes shut, unmoving, a ghost tethered to this world by machines and hope. Her mother, Elise, sat beside her every day. She brought fresh flowers. She read Ava's favorite books aloud. Sometimes, she just held her daughter's hand in silence, praying for a miracle. And then, there was Leo, Ava's twin brother, who visited only at night when no one could see him cry. The accident was supposed to be minor. A school bus rear-ended by a drunk driver. Most kids walked away with bruises. Ava didn't. The doctors called it an irreversible coma. Brain scans showed minimal activity. They whispered around Elise, used terms like persistent vegetative state and withdrawal of care. But Elise refused. She knew her daughter was still in there, somehow. One evening, in the twilight between hospital shifts, a new nurse named Camille came in. She was young, quiet, and observant. Unlike others, she didn't treat Ava like an empty shell. She spoke to her, brushed her hair, played music softly in the background. And one night, as she adjusted the 4-drip, she saw it. A tear. It slid down Ava's cheek slowly, like a whisper from the inside. Camille froze, heart thundering. "Ava," she whispered, "can you hear me?" Nothing. She rushed to the attending physician, but they dismissed it. Involuntary muscle response. Don't read into it. But Camille didn't let it go. She started documenting everything. Every twitch. Every flicker of eyelid. Every sound in the room. Then she asked Elise for something unusual, childhood videos of Ava. Recordings of her talking, laughing, singing. Camille compiled them into a playlist and began playing them during her shifts. It was a Friday evening when it happened. Elise had just stepped out to get coffee. Camille played an old video where Ava was singing a lullaby to a stray kitten she'd found. The soft hum of Ava's voice filled the sterile room. And then, Ava's lips moved. Barely, but unmistakably. Camille dropped her clipboard. "Ava," she gasped, rushing to her side. Ava's lips parted again. One breath. One word. "No." The machines beeped louder. Ava's pulse spiked. Camille called for help. Doctors rushed in. Elise returned just as they began re-evaluating Ava's brain activity. New scans showed something different. Patterns they hadn't seen before. Activity faint, but definite. Consciousness. Elise wept. Camille sat down in shock. Leo arrived later that night and cried harder than he had in months. But as Ava improved, something changed. She became restless in her unconscious state, twitching, sweating, groaning as if reliving something. When she was finally able to open her eyes days later, she was terrified. "It wasn't an accident," she whispered. The room fell silent. "What do you mean?" Elise asked. Ava stared at her mother, wide-eyed, tears falling. "The crash wasn't an accident. Someone did it. To me." At first, no one believed her. How could they? She'd just come out of a coma. She was confused, disoriented. But Ava was insistent. She began remembering details. The man in the car behind them wasn't a stranger. He'd followed her for weeks before the crash. Watched her outside school. Left notes in her locker. Threatening ones. His name was Marcus Bell. A substitute gym teacher who'd been fired after Ava reported him for inappropriate behavior. He vanished shortly after the incident. The police had ruled the crash as a random drunk driving accident. But when Elise demanded a reinvestigation based on Ava's testimony, they discovered something chilling. The toxicology report on Marcus Bell had been forged. He wasn't drunk that night. He was completely sober. And the bus's black box revealed he didn't even brake. It was intentional. News spread like wildfire. Ava's story went viral. People rallied. Survivors from other schools stepped forward with similar stories about Marcus. A man who preyed on girls, then disappeared when threatened. A national investigation launched. Ava, still recovering, testified on camera. Her voice was shaky, but her words were sharp. He tried to silence me. But I lived. And I remember. Weeks later, Marcus Bell was found in a remote cabin in Wyoming. Dangerous. But alive. He was arrested. Convicted. Ava's courage broke open decades of silence. Policies changed. School reporting systems were reformed. Whistleblower protections strengthened. And Camille? She received an award for clinical excellence and an unexpected scholarship to pursue her dream of becoming a neurologist. Ava would walk again, talk again, laugh again. But there were still nights she'd wake up screaming. Still shadows in her mind. Yet, every time she looked at her mother, her brother, and Camille, she knew something undeniable. Her voice had saved her. One word was all it took. No.